I want to welcome one of you, and I'll welcome Derek. We shall start with this question, number 5, dog. Number 5, dog. So I want to welcome Derek. If you're in a position to read for us that question, and we say what the examiner expected. Remember, here I'm welcoming the contribution from all of us. So Derek, you can unmute and read for us that question. Question number 5, dog.
John Osoro has deposited 700,000 shillings into a savings account at an annual interest rate of 5% compounded monthly, with additional deposits of 10,000 shillings per month made at the end of each month. Required, determine the value of the investment after 10 years.
Thank you so much, Bona Derek. Thank you so much. Allow me to now drop the sharing so that you're able to see the board. You can take a picture of that question so that you'll be able to contribute as well. So you can take a picture. So this is question number, question 5D, division of cost. This is April 2023. So I know that you have taken a picture of the same. No, you have taken a picture of the same. Now, this question is from the topic of time value of money. From this topic of time value of money. And under this topic, we determine two things. Either the present value of the cash flow or the future value of the cash flow. Now, from the question, what do you think examiner is trying to test us here? Is the examiner trying to test us the concept of getting the present value or the future value? Please contribute so that you're able to get the concept. The examiner wants us to get the present value or the future value of this cash flow, of this John Osoro. Present value or future? Most people are saying just started. Yvonne, welcome so much. So examiner wants to test us this concept of future value, getting the future value of the cash flow, future value of the cash flow. And I repeat this question. John Osoro has deposited 700,000 into a saving account at an annual interest rate of 5%, compounded monthly with additional deposits of 10,000 per month made at the end of each month. So the topic that this question is coming from is the topic of time value of money. Under time value of money, we have two factors that we need to discuss: discounting techniques, and compounding technique. Now, for this deal with the present value, converting the future value into present. I'm just summarizing present value. And this one deal with the future value, as most of you have told us that the question is talking of the future value. Good. Future value. So we want to do what? We want to compound. We want to do the compounding. And for us to do the compounding, there's a very important factor that we need. A very important factor that we need to help us change this present value into future. Which name do we give that factor? Which name do we give that factor? It is a compounding factor. And under this compounding technique, we are going to find future value of lump sum and future value of annuity. To remind you that when we talk of the lump sum, it is the amount that is given once, payment or receipts that is given once. And then when we talk of this is a irregular amount. And then when we talk of the future value of annuity, these are regular cash flow that are the same each period, that are given at the same each period. Therefore, this is what we are going to look at. When we are talking about the future value of lump sum, future value of lump sum, if we want to get the future value of a lump sum, we get it using the following formula. The present value, you multiply by the discounting factor, 1 plus r raised to n. And remember, if you are talking of compounding, there's nowhere that we put the sign of negative. Compounding does not go with the negative. Remember, we want to go in future. We are at the present. Our cash flow is at the present. We want to know what will be the amount in the future. Therefore, the sign here, it will usually be addition, but you cannot just put it there. You know that once the number is starting the way it is, it's just a positive. There is a positive sign before it. So this is the formula of getting the future value of a lump sum. Future value of a lump sum. Then, what about future value of an annuity? Formula of getting future value of an annuity. Very, very important. So to get the future value of an annuity, you take the present value, you multiply by 1 plus r raised to n minus 1 divide by r. That will be the future value of an annuity. Tafadhali, if you're having if you're writing down and you have a highlighter please highlight this. This is very important as far as compounding technique is concerned. Now, from the question that we have at hand, which method are we going to use? Let me see now those people who are able to translate the question. From the question that we have at hand, which method are we going to use? I hope I'm clear. Which method are we going to use? Future value of lump sum, future value of annuity. Wow. People are saying both. I like this. Yes, we are going to use both methods because of what? We have been given a deposit of 700,000. Which will be a lump sum. That's a one-time payment, right? Or deposit, right? It's a one-time payment or deposit. So that's a lump sum. It will fall under the lump sum. And the formula that we are going to use is the lump sum formula. And then we are told that with additional deposit, it's compounded monthly with additional deposit of 10,000 per month. Now, where the small student flunked or where the most student missed is here, where we have the number of months. They used 10 years. And remember, you are told that it is compounded monthly. Who can give me the number of months that we have? Who can give me the number of months that Osoro is going to invest this money? Dennis anatuambia 12, not really. Dennis, kuna kitu hujafanya. Ivona anatuambia 120 is having it. 120 is having it. We know that 1 year, allow me to just write here, 1 year has got 12 months, as Dennis is telling us, right? But now this amount is going to be invested for how many years? 10 years. So therefore, you cross multiply to get this. That will be 120 times 10. No, 12 times 10, not 120. What am I doing? Divide by 1. So this will be 120 months. 120 months. And that was the secret. That was the secret for these people to pass this question. That was the secret for these people to pass the question. So let's first of all use the lump sum amount and see how much will be the future value of the lump sum. So the present value of the amount in ngapi? Lump sum. So the present value, so future value will be equal to present value in ngapi? We have been provided with 700,000. 700,000, that is the present value. We multiply by 1 plus, what is the rate, discounting rate? The annual interest rate of 5%. The annual interest rate of 5%. The rate is 5%. Therefore, this is 0.05. As a good student, you can indicate for the examiner in that order. And then raised to power 120. N is 120. N is 120. So how much are we going to get? How much are we going to get? What is the future value? What is the future value of 700,000 for Mr. Osoro? Mr. Osoro. Mr. Osoro. Future value itakuwa ngapi? If you're having a calculator, you can assist us there. 1.05 raised to 120. 1.05 raised to 120. Don't put a negative tafadhali. Munapata nini? Munapata nini? What are you getting, people? What are you getting? Are we supposed to divide? No. Dennis, don't divide. Now, for the lump sum, you don't divide. But now for the annuity, we shall be dividing. You get it? You get it? I hope we are together. People are getting 244 to 38. 244 to 38, let me see. 244 to 38, 390. That is a good amount of money. 244, 238, 390. So for the lump sum amount of 700,000, the future value will be 244,238,390 for Mr. Osoro. But now he did not stop at that point. He is contributing 10,000 at the end of each month. 10,000 at the end of each month. Therefore, the 10,000, it's an annuity. Each month, 10,000. Each month, 10,000. Therefore, that is an annuity, and we are going to compound using this formula of annuity, getting the future value, present value. So over an annuity, we just say annuity value. Annuity value will be our future value of Mr. Osoro will be. What is our present value? What is our present value? For those people who are following, they are able to give us the present value as per the question. What is the present value? What is the present value? It is 10,000. 10,000. You multiply by, now remember here, the formula. The formula is 1 plus r raised to n, but remember we are subtracting 1. Then we divide by r. You should be very keen when doing that. 1.05, let me just put it in that order, minus 1. Then this one we shall raise to power 120, divide by r. R is 0.05. 0.05. 0.05. Now, somebody can give me now the discounting, the compounding factor here. The compounding factor so that you're able to multiply with 10 and get the result. Compounding factor ni ngapi? Compounding factor ni ngapi? Just raise, that is 1.05 raised to 120. 1.05 raised to 120. There is no negative. Don't put a negative, tafadhali. Minus 1. Divide by. So how much are you getting? 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 I'm getting a figure here. I'm getting a figure here. I'm getting a figure here times 10,000. Times 10,000. I'm getting a figure here. I'm getting a figure here. Yes, 69,582. Okay, those who have used the yeah, it is 69,582, 397. 69,582, 397. Just leave alone the point, wachana tu nazo, and then we add to get the total value, total future value. Total future value will be the total, the lump sum, and the annuity. You add the two. If I add the two, 244, 238, 390, 244, 238, 390, nikiongeza napata 313, 820, 313, 820, 820, 313, 820, 787, 787. Can you tell me whether we are together up to that point? Do you understand what is happening? Do you understand? Do you understand? Do you understand? You understand? You understand? You understand? Now, this will be the total future value of this person, Mr. Osoro. The total future value of Mr. Osoro. By the show of hand, who could have gotten that? If this was your exam, could you have gotten that? Could you have gotten that? Could you have gotten that? Under room temperature. Under room temperature. Could you have gotten that? Which situation do we divide the rate? Okay. That is the situation that Derek, is that Derek? I think that is Derek. That situation is whereby that you are told that the interest maybe is compounded maybe semi-annually, something like that. Semi-annually, quarterly, they depend. So that is it. And that is what was expected. I want us to move to another question. So I display my past paper here. So I want us to look at another question. Analysis financial statement. This paper was very good. Oh, another question that really disturbed people. Oh. Let's look at this one. Let's just have a look at this one. I have some 15 minutes. Let's see how far we can go. All right. Now. I ready to read for us here. Who is now to read for us? So let me check. From the participant list. If your background is okay, I want to welcome Esther Mungare to read for us question number. Just read for us question number 2, boy. Esther Mungare, if your background is okay, you can proceed. If she gets silent for 2 seconds or 3 seconds, that means her background is not okay. We search another person. The last person, Yvonne, Madam Yvonne. You can take us through that question. Ama alikuwa nasoma. Ilikuwa ni mimi sijasikia. You know.
I mute myself. Okay, have unmuted myself.
Okay, sawa. Proceed.
All right. Question 2B.
Yes.
The following information was extracted from the financial statement of Rainbow Limited for the year ended 31st December 2022. Capital structure: ordinary shares 750,000 shares at 20 each, 15,000. Retained earnings 48,900. 8% preference shares at 100 per value, 5,000. 10% debentures, 7,500, a total of 76,400. Additional information: the preference shares were originally sold in 2014 at 104 per share. The current price is 94, although a similar issue can be made at 89 net. Additional information number 2, ordinary shares are currently selling at 38.40 on the security exchange. Additional information number 3, the debenture was sold in 2015 and realized 96 per unit. The current price is 80. It is anticipated that a similar issue would also sell at 80 per unit. Corporate tax 30%. Last year, dividends amounted to 3 million, which was 70% of the net earnings. The company expects these dividends to grow at a rate of 6% per annum and the dividend payout ratio to remain the same. New ordinary shares can be sold at 40, but in order to guarantee success, they would have to be sold at 35 per share. Required cost of preference shares, cost of ordinary shares, cost of debentures, market weighted average cost of capital, the firm.
Thank you so much for taking us through. Thank you so much for taking us through that question. So that is a question that confused many because of having very wordy, it was a wordy question. Let me say it was a wordy question with confusing prices. Confusing prices. You wonder now, which price do I use? Am I supposed to look at the discount now? But it was a simple question. If you understood the concept, it was a simple question. Because if you are looking at the capital structure, if the examiner tells you to compute the weighted average cost of capital, or weighted marginal cost of capital, they are just things that you should not fail to understand. For instance, getting the component cost, that is something that you should not miss out. Remember, this thing is being marked with stages, right? For example, you can see that the examiner wants you to compute the cost of preference share. That is given or allocated 2 marks, cost of preference share. That is just a component cost you are computing, right? And by computing that, you'll be solving the major question that the examiner wants. So you can take a picture of that question so that I can stop sharing and then we can tackle the question. You can take a picture, then give me a signal once you take the picture of the question so that you are able to follow through. Without a question, it will be difficult for you to follow through. And not forgetting, I can't forget to remind you that we are offering block revision at only 2,000. As you confirm for me whether you have taken a picture, 2,000. Our customer care number is here, provided there. And the pay bill, if you wish to join, is here. So we don't want to close to anybody. 62 42 839. Then you can account number, you can put block or the unit account. You can use the unit name. So once you do that, you can share the M-Pesa message with this person. Alternatively, I'll give an alternative number. Alternative number is 0793. I hope it's visible here. 93 555 000. So I know that you have already your network failed you. Okay, no worry. We shall be sharing the video. So that is the information that if I don't tell you, maybe you may miss, and it may be a disadvantage to you. Therefore, class, allow me to solve this question together with you so that at least we are able to understand what the examiner really wanted. So sometimes when you are in that exam room, you tend to panic, you tend to be nervous, you just feel that as if your mind is not working. Please. You can borrow this mode of analysis of a question. You can analyze a question, because once you enter in that room, sometimes the temperature changes. So you can adopt this mode of analyzing the question. So for instance, for me, I've already analyzed the current price of the preference share, right? I know I need that. The current price of the ordinary share, I need that. What about now the current price of the debenture? The current price of the debenture is that 80? Is that 80? And then I was told that there was a growth of, share the year for this paper, please. The year is 2023, 2023, 2023, April 2023, April 2023, April 2023. Now question number 2B, solution. So for the solution, we are going to start with the first Roman number 1, cost of preference share. So we know that to get the cost of preference share, now who will really remind us here? How do we get the cost of preference share? Because the first thing that we need to get is the preference share, or the component cost of each component. I can see people saying KP. Okay, that is the abbreviation of cost of preference share. That is the abbreviation, or it's the symbol for our cost of preference share. So the KP is what you are finding here, the cost of preference share. So I can just indicate or write the whole name so that we are able to see cost of preference share. So this is what we are calling KP. Now, how do we get the cost of preference share? Never fail such a question. When you are asked about any component, just look at what is the payment. What is the payment of that either debenture or the ordinary share? People are saying preference dividend, and then you divide by the market value of the preference share. Those people are correct. Because I know that the return of preference shareholder, it is the preference dividend that they are going to get. Therefore, to get the cost of preference share, that is KP, will be preference dividend. Allow me to write it in full so that no one will confuse. Preference dividend divide by the market value of preference share. You see some people saying pay divide by market value. No worries. Whichever the case, the thing is we need to arrive at the same destination. Therefore, who will remind us how do we get the preference dividend? You ask yourself, if you borrow a loan, for instance, you are going to pay that loan together with the interest. How do you get that interest? You take the interest rate, you multiply by the loan amount. The same case apply here. If I want to arrive to at a preference dividend, I take the rate and then I multiply. I take the rate and then I multiply by the preference share that were there. So what are our preference share? Let's look at the question and look at the preference share that were there. What was our preference share? The par value of the preference share in that case. The par value of that of the preference share of that case. How much? It's 100. Therefore, we are told that it's 100. Therefore, it's 8%, which is 0.08 times 100. Divide by the market value. What is the market value of the preference share here? Already I had indicated here. It is 94. Leave alone any other information that is contradictory to what you understand. You see, we are given very many information. Preference share were originally sold at 2014 at 104. Leave that. That is just something to confuse you. So therefore, we are going with the market current market price, market value. I wrote market value. Okay, it's okay. Market value or market price of the preference share is okay. Divide by 94. Now, what will be the value of our KP? What is our KP in that order? We are being given 0.0851. Never wonder, never worry. This can be translated to 8.51%. You can translate that to 8.51% and you'll be able to get your 2 marks. Are we together up to that point? Is there any question regarding the preference share, the cost of preference share? Are we together? You understand? We understand. Do you understand? Do you understand? There be flotation done discount you less. Okay. Yeah, if you had a flotation, or a discount, it reduces the market value of the preference share, the market price. Must you, let me see, I've seen a question. Good to see those questions because we need to, must you convert the percentage? Not really, it's not a must, it's not a mandatory. At the end, remember we need a weighted average cost of capital. At the end, you're going to use this value and there's no problem. And then your final value, it's advisable if you convert it to a percentage, the final. But at this point, when you achia hapa sawa, when you ameachia hapa sawa. Are we together, Faith? Then we move to the next part. The next part is they want us to come up with the cost of ordinary share. This was a disaster. The ordinary share. So this is the first one. Then the second one, the ordinary share. All right, ordinary share. I want to remind you that when you are told to compute or to come up with the weighted average cost of capital, there are things that we ignore. What do we ignore? The retained earning stroke reserves. Because we say that the cost of ordinary share is equal to the cost of retained earning under weighted average cost of capital, which is not the case in the weighted marginal cost of capital. That mark the difference, the big difference from that. So the ordinary share, under the ordinary share, we're going to get the KE, the cost of equity. Remember, ordinary share and the retained earning all form equity. They form equity section. And therefore, to get the KE, if you really remember what you studied, when you see growth, ukiona growth hapa, that means our dividend will be growing. And because we have not been given our dividend, we shall be using this DO 1 plus J divided by PO. PO is the market price. You can less the flotation if any, kama iko unatoa, and then you add G. Have you ever seen that formula? Is this formula familiar to you? Is the formula familiar to you? Now we want to look at each item here. Growth, we were told it's 6%. This I can translate it as 0.06. That is my growth. What is the market value? What is the current price? Current price of the ordinary share is 38.4. If you look at the question you are given there. And then additional information number 5, they were confusing. I don't know what was wrong with the examiner here, because you could have wondered. Now, you are given new ordinary share can be sold at 40. But in order to guarantee success, they would have to be sold at 35. Now, you see, those are just confusing element. Therefore, we have our current market price as 38.4. Now, I want to ask you, what else don't we have? Flotation. Our question don't have a flotation. So already I have my PO and my G. Do I have DO? How can I get the DO? That is now the disaster point. How can I get my DO? I just check the information given in additional information number 4. I'm told that last year's dividend amounted to 3 million shilling, which was 70% of the net earning. I leave alone the proportion. The company expects the dividend to grow at a rate of 6% per annum, and the dividend payout ratio to remain the same. So that information will really help me to get the dividend per share. So the dividend per share will be given by this dividend, the amount of dividend that we are given here, the amount of dividend Divide by number of share. How much share did we have? How much share did we have here? Tuko na share ngapi shares? Ordinary share. Zilikuwa ngapi? The shares. Look at the ordinary share. The ordinary share. We had 750. And to get our DO, we were to do that. So tell me, what is our DO? DO ni shilingi ngapi? Shilingi ngapi sasa? If you have a calculator, can just take and use that to get your DO. It's 3 million divided by 750. Divide by 750. Are you getting 4? Are you getting 4? Yes, I'm getting 4 shillings. 4 shillings. So with that, class, I'm able to now plug in my figures. Plug in my figure here to get the KE. So the KE will be equal to 4 into bracket 1.06. That is my G. Then I divide by PO is 38.4. And then I add my 0.06. So can you tell me what will be our cost of equity? Cost of equity itakuwa ngapi? Cost of equity itakuwa ngapi hapa? Cost of equity itakuwa ngapi? Cost of equity itakuwa ngapi? If you really have a calculator, you are able to tell us what will be our cost of equity as far as this is concerned. As far as this is concerned. As far as this is concerned. Okay, people are giving, okay, I can see Yvonne giving me 0.05. Yvonne, it cannot be that because I can see already, sasa iko chini ya hii na hii ni kuongeza tuna. Yvonne, can you check? Can you check your values? People are giving 0.01704, 0.01704, which will be equal to 17.04%, 17.04%. Remember, we are computing the component cost. Now we proceed to the debenture. We proceed to the debenture. We proceed to the debenture. So other debenture, there are things that you need to understand. Debenture, it is represented by KD. The KD. We have two types of debenture. One, redeemable. Two, irredeemable debenture. Most students are usually confused and get confused, and therefore this lead to their failure. So once you hear of redeemable tafadhali, once you hear of redeemable debenture, it has maturity period. I don't know whether you people you remember that. That redeemable debenture, it has maturity period. It has, allow me just to write down, maturity period. So anytime you see a question whereby they are mentioning number of years, 10 years, 100 years, 20 years, that is a redeemable debenture. If we are talking of irredeemable debenture, this one does not have maturity period, and we assume or we presume that the interest will be paid to infinity, ama itakuwa inalipwa forever. The interest will be paid to infinity. Now, with that information, I can see a question subtracted instead. Okay. Now, with that information, can you tell me the type of debenture that we have here? The type of debenture that we have from this question, having in mind that we say that you take a picture of the question, which type of debenture is this? Additional information number 3 is talking about debenture. We are being told that the debenture was sold in 2015 and realized 96 per unit, 96 shilling per unit. The current price is 80. And it is anticipated that a similar issue would also sell at 80 per unit. Corporate tax rate is 30. Ooh, Yvonne. Who is near Yvonne to pinch her ear a bit? Who is near Yvonne? Where is the period, Yvonne? If it is redeemable, it must have maturity period. From our case, has they mentioned the number of years? Has they mentioned the number of years anywhere? They have not mentioned, and therefore our debenture is irredeemable. You understand, Yvonne? You understand that? Hope you see that. So I will give you the formula of getting both. If you are to find the KD of redeemable debenture, KD of redeemable, allow me to put the R there to represent redeemable. If you want to get the KD of redeemable debenture, it is interest 1 over n. N is the number of years or number of period per value minus market value, and then this one you divide by a half of per value plus market value. Then this one you adjust for tax. That is when you are given number of period. You see, you can see now it is direct here that here we have number of period. What about now for irredeemable? In our case, we are going to use the irredeemable. KD for irredeemable, allow me to put it as a IRR, will be given by interest divided by market value, and then this one we adjust for tax, 1 minus T. And our tax rate is 30% as provided by the examiner. Now, I want somebody to tell me, how do we get the interest here? Look at the debenture. We are told that we are having 10% debenture. Are we given the par value? Are we given the par value? Remember, we look at the 10% of the par. Are we given the par value? Are we given the par value? Of course, no, we are not given the par value. The examiner wanted us to assume that the current market price is the same as the par. So the debenture are going at the same as the current market price. So it's 80 divided by 80, the current market price. Then we adjust with 1 minus 0.3. What is the debenture? What will be our debenture there? What is our debenture there? What is our debenture? Our cost of debenture, in fact. Cost of debenture itakuwa nini? Itakuwa ngapi? Itakuwa ngapi? 0.07. 0.07. Thank you so much. 0.07, which is equivalent to 7%, which is equivalent to 7%, which is equivalent to 7%. By doing that, you had how many marks? 6 marks by doing that. And then from this point, once you get the component cost, these are the component costs. This one, and this one. Those are the component cost. The component cost. You go to getting the proportion. Proportion is the second thing that you have to compute, the proportion. So to compute the proportion, remember you want to get the proportion depending with the current market price, So you take the value, of the component, and then you divide by the par value, then you multiply by the current market price. So in our case, I don't know whether this time will allow me to finish. I'm having 9 minutes. I don't know. Let's try and see whether we are able to complete this. So in this case, we can start with the ordinary share. So already ordinary share, we were given the number of ordinary share. So computation of the proportions. Weight. Wengine wanasema weight. So component cost. No, let's just move with the component. Ordinary share. We are having 750,000 multiply by what was the market value of ordinary share? 38.4. That is the ordinary share. You give me the total there. Then we go to, already we are done with this. We go to the next one as they are following each other. Go to the next one. Ya pili ni gani? It is the retained earning wachana nayo. We go to preference share. To get the number of share of preference share, you take the 5,000. Hii hatukuwa tumepewa direct. divide by the par value. Par value ni ngapi? Of course, shillings are in thousand. Divide by par value times market value. Market price. Market price ya preference ilikuwa ngapi? Market price 94. No flotation, right? Thank you so much. No flotation. 94. Then we move to the other one, debenture. Now for debenture, I want somebody to tell me, for debenture, remember it's moving at the same, it's going at the same, market price. So we don't have, the par is the same as the market price. Therefore, there's no change for debenture. It will remain to be 7,500. There's no change. So this one I'm being given, shillings are in thousand. Sawa. It's just 800. What about this one? Then debenture remain to be the same, 7,500. No change. No change. Give me the second one. This one. Of course, shillings are in thousand. Napata ngapi? 14. Sasa 14,400. Umetoa zero zote. Umetoa 100. So 50 times 94, right? 50 times 94. 4,700. Yvonne. This I'm getting 4,700. Now you add for me. Give me the total. Yes, thank you. Give me the total. The total there. Total itakuwa ngapi? Total ya hizo. So that we get the proportion now. Should I add this now? I can see now people are going back to work, but already the question, imagine tumemaliza 41,000. So to get the proportion, take 28,800 divided by 4,100. So I can assist you to get this very fast. 28,800 divided by 4,100. 41,000. So I'm getting 0.7. That is the proportion. Then the other one is 4,700. 4,700 divided by 41,000. I'm getting 0.1. And then remember this thing must add up to what? To 1. Therefore, hii ingine naona kama ni 0.2 divided by 41,000. Yeah, 0.2. So once you get the proportion here, now you are done. To get worker car, weighted average cost of capital. Get I'll go with in this order. So weighted average cost of capital is equal to cost of equity, weight of equity plus cost of preference share, weight of preference share plus cost of debt, weight of debt. And we have this one, 0.7 times, what was the weight of this? 17.04%. No worry. You can use any. You can use 0.1704. Was it 1704? Hapo watu waliweka vibaya. Haifai kuwa 0. Inafaa kuwa 0.1704. 1704 plus cost of preference share. Tuko nayo huko 0.0851 times 0.1, and then the other one, the last one, is the cost of debt, 0.07 times 0.2. Now. Can you give me this? And we will be done. Tutakuwa tumemali. You can put it in your calculator the way it is. So 0.7 times 0.4 plus 0.08 51 times. Oh, nani amemaliza? People want to go back to work. 0.07. 7 times 0.2. I'm getting 14.179. I don't know. I'll go with that one. Yako 14.178%. That will be the weighted average cost of capital. Weighted average cost of capital. Thank you so much. That small difference haina shida. Wewe ukisha chapa yako bora 14 utakuwa sawa, utakuwa sawa, utakuwa sawa, utakuwa sawa. Sasawa. So thank you so much, class. I really appreciate your attendance. We shall be organizing such a session so that at least we are able to update ourselves. We are able to update ourselves. Otherwise, give us more referrals. More referrals. We are having the block revision, and we expect that. We are going to add value to your revision. We are going to add value to your revision. We are only charging Kenya shilling 2,000, so that you are able to join our ongoing block revision. Otherwise, thank you so much. Thank you so much, and have a blessed day. Have a blessed day ahead. Have a blessed day ahead. Tupatane wakati mwingine. My name is Teacher Steven. Any question before we leave? Any question? Pressure. Thank you. Any question before we leave? Any question?